Welcome back to my channel Knowledge Chronicle.
Have you ever wondered how you're able to run, lift a cup of tea, or even blink? Behind every little movement in your body, there's a highly coordinated, fascinating system at play: locomotion and movement. And at the heart of it all? Muscles. In today's video, we're going to break down the complete story of how muscles work, their types, structure, contractile proteins, and the mechanism behind muscle contraction. So grab your curiosity and let's dive into one of biology's most beautifully engineered processes. Muscle is a specialized tissue of mesodermal origin, which simply means it comes from the middle layer of the embryo during development. In a fully grown human, muscles make up 40 to 50% of total body weight. That's almost half your body dedicated just to movement. But muscles aren't just about bulk. They have four amazing properties. First, excitability, they respond to stimuli. Second, contractility, they can shorten forcefully. Third, extensibility, they can stretch without damage. And lastly, elasticity, they return to their original shape after stretching. Muscles can be classified based on their location, appearance, and control mechanism. Let's look at the three main types. 1. Skeletal muscles. These are the ones attached to your bones. Under a microscope, they show stripes or striations, so they're also called striated muscles. Since we control them voluntarily, like waving your hand, they're also known as voluntary muscles. They're responsible for actions like walking, talking, or even sitting upright. Example: the biceps in your arm. When you flex it, that's skeletal muscle doing its job. Visceral muscles are found in the walls of internal organs, like your stomach, intestines, and reproductive tract. They have a smooth appearance, no stripes, so they're called smooth muscles. You can't control them consciously, so they're involuntary muscles. They help in moving food in the digestive system or pushing urine out of the bladder. Example: ever felt your stomach churn? That's smooth muscle at work without you even thinking about it. Cardiac muscles. As the name suggests, these are the muscles that make up the heart. Microscopically, they're striated like skeletal muscle, but they function involuntarily like visceral muscles. Their cells are interconnected and form a branching pattern, which helps the heart contract as one strong unit. Fun fact: your heart beats over 100,000 times a day, all thanks to cardiac muscles working non-stop for life. Let's zoom into skeletal muscle, the one involved in locomotion. Each skeletal muscle is made up of bundles called fascicles, held together by a connective tissue called fascia. Inside each bundle are many muscle fibers, or cells, and each fiber is surrounded by a membrane called sarcolemma. It's filled with a jelly-like fluid called sarcoplasm and is a syncytium, meaning it has multiple nuclei in one cell. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Within the sarcoplasm, there are myofibrils, the real contractile machinery. These are the thread-like structures that give muscles their striped appearance. These myofibrils are made of two types of protein filaments: thin filaments, made of actin, and thick filaments, made of myosin. The repeating pattern of light and dark bands forms units called sarcomeres, the functional unit of muscle contraction. Think of the sarcomere as a segment between two Z-lines. It's where all the action happens. Z-line, zigzag line, where actin filaments anchor. I-band or isotropic band, light band containing only actin. A-band or anisotropic band, dark band with overlapping actin and myosin. H-zone, the center of the A-band with only myosin. M-line runs down the middle of the H-zone, stabilizing the thick filaments. When your muscle contracts, the sarcomere shortens, but the filaments themselves don't change length. Instead, they slide past each other. That's the magic of movement. Now let's look at the key players. Actin filament. It's made of two strands of F-actin, or filamentous actin, which are polymers of G-actin, also known as globular actin. Wrapped around these strands is a rope-like protein called tropomyosin. Attached to tropomyosin at intervals is troponin, which has a crucial role in turning muscle contraction on or off. In the resting state, troponin blocks the binding sites on actin, preventing myosin from attaching. Myosin filament. It's made of repeating units of meromyosin. Each meromyosin has a tail, called light meromyosin, and a globular head and short arm, known as heavy meromyosin. The myosin head is like a motor. It has a site to bind actin and a site to bind and break down ATP, releasing energy for movement. Okay, now let's understand how all this comes together to make a muscle contract. First, a signal arrives. A nerve impulse from the brain or spinal cord travels through a motor neuron to a muscle fiber. Next, at the neuromuscular junction, the neuron releases acetylcholine, triggering an action potential in the muscle membrane. This electrical signal causes calcium ions, or K++, to be released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Then, calcium binds to troponin, causing it to change shape and pull tropomyosin away, exposing actin's active sites. The energized myosin head binds to actin, forming a cross bridge. Myosin pulls actin inward, shortening the sarcomere in what we call the power stroke. Finally, myosin releases actin, a new ATP binds, and the cycle repeats as long as calcium is present. Eventually, calcium is pumped back, the binding sites are masked again, and the muscle relaxes. Did you know that not all muscle fibers are the same? They come in two flavors. Red fibers, also known as slow-twitch fibers, are high in myoglobin, which is an oxygen-storing protein. They have lots of mitochondria and rely on aerobic respiration. These fibers don't fatigue quickly, making them ideal for endurance activities. For example, marathon runners have more red fibers. White fibers, also known as fast-twitch fibers, have low myoglobin, which is why they're pale. They contain fewer mitochondria and rely on anaerobic respiration. These fibers get tired quickly but generate strong force, making them great for short bursts. For example, sprinters rely on white fibers. So there you have it. From the types of muscles to the microscopic ballet of actin and myosin, the process of muscle contraction is a beautiful blend of biology, chemistry, and physics. It's what lets you smile, breathe, dance, and live. If you found this explanation insightful, make sure to check out our other biology breakdowns here on Knowledge Chronicle. Your one like, share, and subscribe will help us create more valuable content. Thanks for watching and keep learning.